This is the SAP Developer News for January 30th, 2025.
Hello, SAP developers. I hope many of you got a chance to watch the webinar yesterday on the new SAP Build features released in Q4 2024. There were updates on product-specific highlights on tools such as SAP Build Process Automation, Build Code, Build Apps, and Workzone with some cool demos on the new features. Here are some of my favorites. The design time UI in Build Apps has been redesigned, allowing for a more intuitive user experience. Different pages in an app are easily accessible via a drop-down. Less frequently used tasks are positioned under app settings. Preview and publish options are now more prominent. In the process automation, now you can create and manage process variants. Process variants allow a variant template developer to create processes with pre-configured settings, and a variant management user, usually a business configuration expert, can modify the template variant to suit his needs with changes like change order of variants, modify the start condition, release and deploy variants, etc. In Workzone Standard Edition, the integration of Joule is a game changer. Joule in Workzone provides answers and insights from any connected system via prompts, eliminating the need to switch between different tools and user interfaces. Note that this feature is not available in the free trial. Joule integrated in SAP Build Code now enables seamless migration of SAP UI5 applications from JavaScript to TypeScript. SAP Build Code has an adaptation editor tool, which is a new tool for extending SAP UI5 applications. It replaces the SAP UI5 visual editor. There are many more features released in the last quarter. Do check out the webinar recording and the blog post explaining all the features, the link to which are in the description below.
My colleague Sri has already brought you some of the news about SAP Build enhancements that were released in January of this year. I want to do a little breakout there on specific enhancements for SAP Build Code. Of course, Build Code is part of SAP Build, and a little bit of the news was covered in his segment, but for professional developers, I want to give you a little additional information. First of all, in SAP Build Code, we see the new project overview. This is to really replace the Project Explorer and give you a better visualization of your project, and in particular, match up the structure to what you're seeing when you're using the storyboard editor. Next, we see improvements when working with remote function calls. There, we've added the ability for the run configuration to be updated automatically, as well as support both basic and principal propagation. Next, we see the inline editing for CDS entities. This allows you to edit entities and their attributes without having to switch between the graphical editor and the text or code-based editor. And we see the deprecation of Java tools for SAP Web IDE. Now, this is an important note because this has to do with the deprecation of the SAP Java Build Pack version 1. Now, that deprecation is going to take place in June of 2025. And at that time, the older tools in the SAP Web IDE for Java development will also be deprecated. Now, this just means that you need to be using the SAP Business Application Studio, which we recommend that you use anyway. So by June 2025, please plan on moving your CAP Java and other Java-based tooling-based projects to the Business Application Studio. And finally, the last item has to do with the Joule code generative capabilities in SAP Build Code. We see the agent or the Joule assistant going multi-agent with the latest enhancements. Particularly, we see this in the CAP new project generation. And now what you can do is you can give it a robust description of what you want your entire CAP application to do. And in a single prompt, it will respond by both generating the application, generating sample data, and generating application logic for what you described. This used to be several different calls and interactions that you'd have to have with the Joule Assistant. And now with it being multi-agent, you can do that in all one prompt. So look for all these enhancements in SAP Build Code. And of course, the blog posts are all in the links to the show note of this episode.
The January 2025 CAP release is right around the corner, and we got some great release notes for you. The new CDS parser replacing Antler is almost done. With the new parser, you will get reduced installations and faster parsing, as well as improved code completion. And with the new release, you will also be able to use enum symbols when defining a default value. More enum symbols support will come in the future. And on the Java side, you can now use predicates as select items to evaluate Boolean expressions on the database. OData v401 allows you to invoke functions using implicit parameter aliases, and this invocation style is now also supported by the CAP Java runtime. And CDS debug has been extended for Java, so you can easily debug local and remote Java applications. And lastly, I want to mention that IntelliJ has now SAP CDS language support. There are even more great news about the upcoming release, and you can read all about them in detail on the CAP release page.
Hey there, it's Mr. Bluebeard, and I hope you are enjoying the blue sky. It is very windy and cold outside today, so I came inside to talk to you about Bluesky. Not that blue sky, but about the social media site, Bluesky. SAP is getting more and more active on Bluesky. We've got the SAP community there. They've got a great feature called starter packs. So if you don't want to follow just the SAP community site, but also a bunch of individuals within other groups, you can quickly grab a starter pack for something like the SAP mentors, champions, developer advocates, or you can just continue to follow individuals. I've got an account there along with a bunch of other people that are inside of those other groups. It's just a great place where information can go and live freely. It was started by some people that started a different social media site years ago. And this is just basically a reboot of a place to go for short microblogging, links, pictures, videos to things you care about. So follow accounts like the SAP community or maybe the UI5 group if you're into that. So there are more and more groups popping up every day. And Bluesky is not just a song by a great band called ELO, right, DJ? It's a great place to go and share information. We'll see you there. Bye.